just been watching YouTube videos.
What you been watching?
What was I watching? On the way over here, I was watching how to edit a video.
By who?
I felt so old. It was like how learn how to edit Instagram videos. I was like, oh, how do you do that? And they do like the simplest thing, like this button is to record, and I'm like, oh, over here holding it like it's. Anyways,
It's funny you say that because you're like super advanced compared to me. I'm like, how do you embed a video to go do like 10 minutes of research to find out you have to push the 3 buttons?
you just want to know like every shortcut possible.
I still remember at one of your kids' parties, you put out the switch. I was like, I don't even know how to turn this on. I was like, it has happened.
Oh, and all the kids with their booger fingers are grabbing my controllers. I'm like, all right.
Dang. So yeah, dude, I think our energy bill's like double what it was. So I'm like, I'll freaking pay it because I need to go to sleep.
Yeah, dude.
I'm trying to sleep all sticky to my wife.
Ugh. You just wake up and you feel nasty. You're like, get away from me. And on top of that, like my kid's bed's right next to mine, and then they hop over, and then they somehow like they just want to be so close to you. You're just like, get off.
Erin's stinking hot breath, sticky body. She's a little space heater though, dude. She puts out so much heat. Like I go check on her before I leave to work, and then she's like dripping sweat. So you just ran a marathon with her?
I think it's just a full head of hair because Erin and then Heather Grace has a full head of hair. It's like this hot aura around them.
It was so funny watching them at the party. They were all hot faced, red, sweating, cotton mouth like a mug, and they're still running. Didn't matter.
Dude, they were knocked out though the next day. They did not want to wake up. All right, that's fine. Stay in bed.
You guys had a free day?
Yep. Free morning.
Free morning. I'll take it these days.
I saw Nancy up before the kids, and I was like, oh, wow, look at you. Look at you throwing a load in.
Well, hey there. Happy Labor Day. What else has been happening?
Well, my sister had a baby, so that's exciting.
First time uncle. What does it feel like?
First time uncle.
Go. I've been an uncle since I was like 8 years old. So
it's a crazy feeling. It's weird. I haven't met her yet, but hopefully this weekend, and then I'm sure it'll hit me then. My sister's like the worst with pain, so I was kind of like,
she's the worst with what?
Pain.
Oh, pain.
Yeah. And her last name is Pang, so
Pain.
A little worried for her because I've seen so many times of her like on her period, just like bawling, "Don't touch me!" I'm like, gosh. And little did I know, yep, she was all drugged up. She took every drug possible, but
Hey man. You saw your wife push out your dang baby's head, and you have a size 9 head, so can you blame them?
You know, women and these labor pains, I don't understand it.
Do you think they're just making it up? Oh, look at me, I'm having a baby.
I try to explain to my wife about like hit and gonads, how badly it hurts. It brings up labor pains. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Oh, that's the ace in the card. That's going to be the go-to to the end of the time. Did you take out the trash? No. Did you push out your kids? Yeah, dude. It was crazy seeing my wife get the epidural, though. Like, well, actually, I didn't even see it. They told me to go to the bathroom because apparently a lot of fathers faint when they see their lady go through it.
Yeah.
I was all right. Good luck. Went inside. But Rosie was a champ, dude.
Yeah.
She's like a monster.
Yeah, no, honestly, every labor going into birth story I hear, I'm just like, dang. Glad that doesn't have to happen to me. What the heck did I just say?
What were we talking about?
Giving birth.
Uh,
But no, kudos to these women in labor. You did it.
Thanks, Coach. Any other quotes for the night? You've been keeping up with the NBA?
Of course.
All right. Give me what's going on right now. Who's in the first or who's in the hunt? You know what I mean?
The NBA, honestly, Lakers don't look. They look average. They don't look like they're gonna do any real move. At least not yet. So
You're a
start with
fan
them.
too,
I am
so
a
it's not
fan.
just like talking smack.
I think for sure they'll be in the playoffs. That's for sure. But AD is like a walking Mr. Glass. Um, LeBron will do his thing, but only show up for big games. And then we got that menace, Patrick Beverly, so that's exciting. I've always liked him.
What is it about him that you like?
He's just so like
he's in your face, in
yeah,
your
like,
head, right?
Like he doesn't back down. Like he's not listening to him on like other podcasts or whatever, like the sports podcasts I listen to. They'll ask him a question like, "Oh, who's the first person to like give you that business when you came in the NBA?" And he's like, "No one. No one has ever done that to me." When it's like, come on, dude, KD dropped 45 on you, but he will never give it up, you know. So respect that. Hated him when he was a Clipper.
Why? Because he was pushing around Lonzo Ball.
Yes. Like the first game, I was like, leave him alone. But
Heck yeah, dude. What is it about basketball that intrigues you? Because you played it longer than I have.
all my life.
All your life. What was the first time you picked up a basketball?
So my first sport was soccer. Love soccer. I was an all-star goalie, AYSO, Naranja Mecánica. I played with the most like craziest Mexican old school type of a coach ever. He's coaching like 10-year-old kids and then he rips his jersey off, cussing out the ref. He gets kicked out and freaking huge old stomach. And his wife was coaching.
What do you mean, passion for the game? Teaching you a life lesson.
I was like, dang, coach, chill. But no, that was fun. That was my first sport, and then until my dad was actually like, hey, why don't you try basketball? And I was like, all right. So I played in the local league in Montebello, and I was horrible. I kept my stats throughout the whole league of how many points I dropped, like total, not just in a game, like total. And I remember telling my dad when the season was over, I was like, you know how many points I scored in the whole season? He was like, how much? Like looking at me like, you scored? I was like, 12. Like 12 points, and we played like maybe 12 games. Maybe
like
more than that.
Game.
Plus playoffs. And he was like, you know how much Kobe scores in one season?
Dang, what a jerk.
Dang, you're right.
Little did you know that was the exact pep talk you needed.
And that, I don't know, I think that triggered me. You know what? Forget you, Dad. So
I'm gonna show you.
So I just started playing more and fell in love with it and kept playing in the local league, and our friends who we know, Tucci and Ryan, they played, and it was fun to see everyone go out and support us. So just stuck with it.
So, do you think Ryan can beat you one-on-one right now?
No.
Or ever?
Heck no, I got a video of who that fool owes me Ari's.
Has he paid the bet?
No, I'm saying it right now. I'm deep in the cut. You owe me Ari's, dog.
What's the go-to? Quick. Ari's.
What?
What's the go-to?
Yeah, Ari's.
Yes, fool, but what at Ari's?
Oh,
yeah, fool.
A pastrami, dog, the most expensive thing on the menu. It used to be $11. Now it's like 16, $18. Ugh.
So, why do you
That's
think
what was
Ryan still has yet to pay his debt to you? You both agreed, right, on video?
Yeah. So he says, he's like, he tells me that he beats me first. And I say, all right, well, let's double or nothing then. Like, let's run it back. And he said, all right. I'm like, all right, then we'll up the price on it.
Wait a minute. Did he beat you?
He, no. I
Oh.
said, you want to keep going? He said, sure. So technically, he didn't beat me.
So why do you resort to cheating though?
I don't resort to cheating.
Remember you cheated when we played Rubik's? You moved the whole middle row. So is there any possibility of that when you played basketball?
Heck no. This fool shook my hand. And I won fair and square, dog.
All right, Ryan, you're gonna have to pay your bet. Sorry, man. Everybody hold Ryan accountable.
You know what's funny? Every time like we play board games, like when we were growing up, I always resorted to cheating. Not because like I'm a cheater, but because it's funny, you know?
Like that people take it serious
Yeah,
and they just like
what the
mess with
heck?
them.
What happened? How did you just come back? And I'm like, ah.
Wouldn't
Just,
you like to know?
like just recently, we were playing. We were playing that game, that board game,
um,
the
They're,
Blockbuster.
oh yeah. No, we
Yeah.
won fair and square.
Now, little did you know, I reshuffled the deck, and I told Ryan, and he got all convicted.
Oh,
I said it to him right when we were leaving. He's like, "Shut up, dude. Serious? Why would you do that?" Like, hey, fool, it's late.
we still gotta shower the baby. I'm not gonna lie, my nerves were high during that first round. Acting's not your boy's strong suit, man. I wasn't a thespian. But that's fun once we got like in the rhythm of what was it called? Blockbuster. So you have to act it, quote it, and
One word it.
and one word. We had some hard ones. It was like Singing in the Rain was.
Yeah.
Who's gonna act that? First of all, who's seen that movie?
The other one, the chick with the dress singing around in the hills.
Sound of Music.
See that movie? I'm going to the library and picking out a VHS.
Did you ever go to the library and get rent movies?
Oh, heck yeah.
My go-to was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
No, my go-to was Lassie.
Why? Lassie.
Like, oh, Mom, Lassie. It was Lassie. It was the Jungle Book. They had like 50 copies there. It's like, oh, might as well.
Jungle Book. What would you say is the first Disney movie that you've ever seen?
First Disney.
Because you're pretty well versed in the Disney movies before you had kids. So I mean,
The first movie that I remember for sure, Lion King. That was like my go-to movie.
Lion
I
King.
would like act it out. I would act out the whole like fighting scene with Scar.
Which part? Which part? Who? Which character were you?
Simba, fool, come on. And then Rafiki, I'd find like some kind of stick and then hit my brother on top of the head with it.
Did he know he was? He had a supporting role in your movie.
No, I'd always just volunteer my brother for any kind of pain that I had to put him through. Even when we play outside basketball, I'd say, "Hey, stand right here in front of the rim," and lower the rim and just like dunk it on him, and then like really go over the top and like push him to the floor and tell him he's a worthless piece of crap.
Why would you say that?
Just to have that adrenaline rushing, like I dunked on someone.
You're cold-blooded, sir. That's hilarious. So.
But yeah,
Those
Lion King for sure. That's
ever-
the movie.
Do you ever think, like, I was a younger brother, and I got that from my, like, do you ever think you cared?
Thanks for looking out for all the younger brothers out there.
I'm just asking.
You know, in that time, no, I did not care.
Didn't even think about it, right?
Yeah, it was just like an older brother kind of thing. Just be a jerk, be mean. That's how it was.
Get over it.
There was times where he laughed about it, and
Do you think he was
And there was
laughing on
times
the
he did push
outside
back.
and dying on the inside?
Mentally scarred now.
Oh my gosh.
It's horrible. Uh, nah, there was times though where I would push him over the edge a little bit. What did he do? He still denies it to this day, but I literally saw him. He got my PlayStation games, and I had bought. No, I got it for Christmas. I got this like PlayStation disc holder, and it held all my Tony Hawk, Crash Bandicoot, Sonic, like all those old school PlayStation games.
Hmm.
And then he had did something to me or whatever. You know what? I got mad at him because he didn't want to trade one of his basketball cards to me. So I was like, "Give me your freaking card, dude." And he's like, "I'm not gonna trade it. That's a bad deal. I wanted to trade." He had like a rookie card, Tim Duncan, and I had like a player that doesn't even matter to the NBA anymore, Slava Medvedenko. I don't know. And he said no. So I was like, "You know what? Forget you." So I think I like ripped some of his basketball cards.
Wow,
And then
dude.
he went to my little organized PlayStation disc and he snapped all my games in half.
Oh gosh.
So then I told my mom, like the rat I am, and
When
my
he
mom
does
goes over there and rips his Pokemon cards. And I was standing there watching him like, dang, mom.
you felt bad for him.
I didn't say to do that.
Too far, fam. Too far.
But yeah, there was a lot of stories that me and Jamie had going back and forth.
That's the best, dude.
And then he passed it on to his sisters, and
The cycle
yeah,
continues.
it ended at Michaela because Michaela's too nice.
Yeah, there's always the one where it stops, right? Hopefully.
She had her moments though.
What's it like being the oldest, what, four?
Yeah, oldest. Yeah, there's four of us.
Do you need to take off your shoes and socks?
Huh?
Do you need to take off your shoes and socks?
What? What does that mean?
Took a little long to calculate how many.
Oh, who was in that water? No, it just there was times where I did feel responsible for some dumb decisions they make, or know, no matter what they're going through, or whenever they need someone or something, like I'll be the first one there. There's times when my brother, it was completely his fault for like whatever he did, and if he needed help, I was there. I remember he got kicked out. My brother got kicked out a lot because he was just acting a fool, and I was there for him when he needed it. My sisters as well, and I'm glad that they could look up to me as like another father figure. So we got all deep.
That's something I've always respected about you personally. And I've seen you with your four siblings, and that you're always there for them. What age would you say that you really started being conscious of that? Like,
Oh,
I
when
need
my
a,
when my parents divorced, because when my mom and dad split up, they had no idea what was going on. Even I didn't really know what was happening. And coming back home for the first time from the news, the whole house was like a wreck. So my dad had to continue to go to work because like that's what he did. And he couldn't take time off. So I was mainly the one, there to, feed them, help them whatever they needed.
do you remember the go-to meals?
Yeah, cereal, cereal, bagels,
So the grill was not
tortilla
in
with
the
cheese.
in the present right then.
No, oh no.
I thought you used to watch cooking shows and practice on the couch.
Yeah, it was weird. So I had to grow up a little bit quicker than. I mean, not really in some ways, but
I
you
think you're
know,
a person of extremes. Like you're just a silly goose, and then to see that other side of you, like I said with your family, it's a good balance.
yeah. Try. But yeah. Anyways,
Oh my gosh, that's funny, dude. So, how's basketball going for you? Wait,
like
do you
what?
still play?
Just well, yeah. Right now I'm in a little league. You know, getting.
Are you nice or
I'm
nah?
pretty nice right now. You know, surprisingly.
Be
There's
honest. How
there's
many
times,
solid minutes do you have in you before?
bro. I play the whole freaking game.
Why are you lying?
There's times, where I'm just like, dang, do I even have it anymore? And I do a little shimmy, humdilly V. I'm like, ooh. Like, yep, still got it. Uh, and then when I'm dying and I need a stinking oxygen tank, I sub out and they're like, all right, we're gonna need you back in, dog. I'm like, all right, fool, Mamba mentality.
Okay, so you were a big basketball player. You played in high school. You played some college. What was your mindset back then when you were playing at either of those levels before now?
Wow. I mean, of course, I wish I had more focus and all that back in high school, but I think back then it was just like sticking to my role.
Like
I
more
was
system oriented?
Yeah, I was more. I don't know. I guess I didn't want to do too much when I knew I could do it because it was like that's every player's fear now. Like oh, I don't want to get coach mad.
Hmm. Instead
But
of just following your instincts?
yeah, I think that goes on the coach too. Like if the coach notices like this player can do it, then that coach will give that trust to that player. So I felt like I had to build that after a couple years. Um, 'Cause when we were all freshmen, like me, Ryan, well, he played with me on the team. I was a guy. Our teams were freshman team was amazing. Sophomore year, was a guy, and then we got other players coming in, and they were all way better than I was. But I was really good at doing things that they couldn't do, and they were really better at me in so many ways. So I felt like I just go off that, and then I took that to college.
Who was the guy your senior year? If I go to
Oh, Andrew.
Andrew?
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew Torres. He
Shout out.
yeah, when he came from Whittier. He came to Montebello, and I was like super stoked for him to come over because like I said, I was the guy doing it. And I was getting my points, my fair share, but when he came over, it was really like he was an all around player,
Hmm.
and then I just fed off him, and then we had another really really good shooter. So when he came in, he was a lot younger than us, so he played 1 year freshman and then shot straight up to varsity. That was fun. It was good years.
Talking about Mikey?
Yeah.
I played with him when we were younger, like in the city league.
Uh-huh.
And he was nice back then. Same thing, playing younger or playing older as a young kid.
Yeah.
He was nice.
Well, those are you look back in those years and like dang those are fun. And then college, I was just I wasn't taking it seriously. I would go. I remember when ELAC was looking at me during my senior season, and I talked to the coach after a tournament in El Rancho,
Hmm.
and he talked to me, and I was like, ELAC, I don't want to go to that lame school. What a basic Montebello thing to do to go ELAC. So I got kind of pissed off, kind of like not insulted, but I was like, I could do better. I could go to North Carolina.
No, again.
But
I love the enthusiasm, but was it realistic?
oh no, heck no. But yeah, after my senior season finished, went over there to go practice with them. They showed me like the whole gym. They gave me a whole tour of like the locker room and the player development and like all that. It felt like a little like NBA story, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And he was telling me like what he wants to do with me and all that, and I was like, dang. Until I got to the first practice, I'm like, dang, dude, these guys are freaking like, these guys are men, you know?
Yeah.
They were like bodying me. They were like throwing lobs, and there were some other dudes that I knew. I'm like, all right, I can compete with this guy, but I didn't take it seriously. I
Was it?
just
Do
on
you?
ecstasy all the time. Go to practice like dried out.
Are you high? Not right now.
For real, man. Like I was an idiot. I just wanted to party. It was my senior season. I'm not gonna go to practice. I'd rather go smoke weed.
Practice? Talk about practice, not games. But then you, did you ever try out for Rio Hondos?
Yeah. So when it was, I remember we're doing a couple drills at ELAC,
Mm-hmm.
and then I remember my teammate Danny, who came over with me from Montebello, and he was like, "Hey, dude, like try hard." And I looked at him like, "Who are you to tell me that? Like you not like it wasn't like him to step up and tell me something." And we're doing the set of lines, and I was the last one back. And then my coach was like, "Jeremy, get out of here." And I felt like that was kind of like a test to see what I do. I was like, "I'm going home." Went home, and then I felt really like dang, like get your act together, dude. I stopped all that, doing all the drugs, and being dumb, and I went to transfer to Rio, and I knew that they had a basketball class mixed with like the team practice at Whittier High School.
Mm.
So I went over there and I talked to the coach. I was like, "Hey man, like I'm not trying to look to get on the team or anything. I just want to get an opportunity to like practice with you guys and get in shape and all that." And he was like, "Yeah, fine, but I'm not going to promise you a spot on the roster." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. As long as I'm in, like, thank you." And he told me the next day, show up to practice, and I did, and I knew all the plays and the simple drills that everyone runs, and I was killing the other dudes. And even this guy who was supposed to be like their guy, and after a week or so, he talked to me, and I made the team, and I was like, all right. And then he was like, "You make the team, but we'll probably redshirt you, meaning to sit out here." And I was like, "Shoot, I don't care. Like, I'm on the team." Finally have an official like first day of practice, and right after that, he redshirted that other guy who was supposed to like have my spot, and I took his spot. So I was like, "That's right."
The team went on to never win a game.
Yeah, end of story. Never played, but that was like the best shape of my life.
That got serious. That was the best.
Yeah,
It really was, dude. Do
it
you
really
remember
was.
the difference of 7 years or whatever? I was like, golly.
Man, that's all it was back then. Was just running, getting in shape, conditioning. That's it. Conditioning in school.
Well,
Conditioning
yeah,
in
because
school.
you had nothing else to
For
do.
real. But no one would tell
Working a
me.
part-time job,
Yeah.
working out for like 2 hours, playing basketball for another 2.
I'm just sitting in this chair. I'm sweating, losing my breath.
It'd be like that, bro. It's getting rougher and rougher in these streets, homeboy.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sometimes it doesn't even feel like our past lives didn't even exist.
I feel like I'm losing the memory of those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was more. That happened longer than it's close to memory, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like, who are we before kids?
before being adult. Trying.
I guess.
Do I have to? No.
Yeah. Do I have to take him to the dentist?
His teeth are gonna fall out anyways. Just give him the silver teeth and let's get this
Oh my gosh.
show on the road.
Never, bro. I hope.
Do any of your kids show the silver teeth activities in the making?
I really hope not.
Imagine.
Goodness. I know. Then we start roasting each other's kids.
We're gonna what?
Start roasting each other's kids.
We already do. No. It's so funny watching them play. It's like, what the heck? How do they know how to do that?
I know.
But they just have their little conversations. They're like,
Yeah, playing together.
I didn't even know you can process like that. Yeah. My girl comes up to me and she tells me like these interesting stories. I'm like, how did you connect all these sentences together like this? It's amazing. The story's very intriguing, you know?
Yeah. Or when Heather Grace was like putting her sentences together, and she'll be like going on, and she would mess up and be like, "Oh shoot, let me start over." And then this and that. And this. I was like, "Oh." It's crazy to see like the kids like development when they're trying to like process what they're saying and how to say it. And sometimes they don't care. They just don't care at all. They just whatever comes out of their mouth.
And they just like, it's like they're advanced one day and like the next hour they're talking like babies again. You're like, what the heck? We know how to say milk. Stop saying meek. Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to sit them down and just talk to them, and they have no idea what you're saying. They'll be like, I'm 5. Like, what the hell? I'm 4.
And at Disneyland, you're 2.
The other day, I was showing Heather Grace how to like to tell coins apart, like the quarters and nickels and all that, and how much the value is. And I'm over here thinking like, oh, it's gonna be easy. Like, I'm just gonna show her. Yeah. And then I realized in the teaching moment, I'm like, oh shoot, there's a lot more to money than I know. So I'm sitting her down and I'm showing her like a quarter's 25 cents, a nickel's 5 cents, and I'm having her like match the coins to how much it is, and she's doing it, and I have to keep like repeating myself. Like she was kind of struggling with the nickels because how they kind of look like quarters at that age, I guess. I don't know. So she was having a little bit of trouble with it. I'm reminding her, and I'm constantly doing it over and over with her. And then she gets it, and then I'm telling her, okay, now I'm having her get the quarters to match to the quarter box and the nickels to the nickel box, and she's matching them all, and then there's 3 pennies left for her to put in the penny box. So I tell her, all right, now get 3 cents. I've been telling her the whole time that pennies are only 1 cent. So I wanted to see if it would stump her a little bit. I'm like, all right, give me 3 cents. And she looks at her area, and she's like, I can see her analyzing, like, what the heck is 3 cents? And then she grabs the 3 pennies and she gives it to me, and I just start crying. I'm like, she did it. My teaching works.
This teaching thing isn't so hard.
Yeah, right. I could be a math teacher.
The whole time you were doubting yourself.
Yeah.
Is she grasping this?
Yeah, little things like that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, being a parent, you get all emotional.
Do you ever feel like you appreciate things a little too close, or do you think it's like, nah, these are the only times you're gonna get them? Like you celebrate everything the same with the same oomph as the other thing?
Yeah. What?
Too many things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think just like something like that where she had no idea what a penny was, to know like, oh, a penny. I have 3 pennies here. It's 3 cents. So little learning curves like that. It's like, oh wow, wow,
Look at us.
look at us.
Just last week. So wild.
Once they start coming home with fractions, I'm like, hey, fool, you better Google that.
Hey, listen, dog, you better go to Kumon or something because
For real.
there's no way Daddy's going to be able to help you with this. Daddy barely passed math himself. The thought of it makes him want to faint.
What was that school program back in the day that all the bad kids went to? Was it Sullivan or something? I don't know.
Was it?
I don't know. I forgot. I remember my mom tried to enroll me in that class when I was like being really bad.
Like what? Like what? Do you remember?
Like she wanted to take me to like one of those like institutes where like kids have trouble learning, and I remember walking in, this lady giving us a tour, and she's like, okay, well, this is where they learn this. I'm looking at my mom like, Mom, I'm not stupid. They're giving me those eyes like, you better knock it off. And then I had to take this test to see like where I'm at like learning wise.
Uh-huh.
I remember sitting there like, my mom really thinks I'm like stupid. So I'm sitting there and I'm just bombing this test on purpose. And we get in the car and my mom's like, so how'd you think you do? I'm like, I just put C for everything. Like, you did it, blah, blah, blah. blah. Oh, shoot.
I just put C for everything. At least you were honest.
Ended up going to military school.
What was that experience like? Do you remember the first day?
Dude, honestly, bro, I had like the best academics over there, dude. I had like a 3.8, like no lie, bro.
Yeah?
No lie.
This was your freshman year?
Yeah, dude, I passed geometry. I had like a B plus in geometry. Marlboro High School, I think was a F minus. Bro, if I would have I see my friends now, like from that school, they're like firemen, cops. I'm just like sitting there in my Amazon uniform. Like, I remember passing one of those like military tests, for like, I think towards the end of the year, we had to take a test to see where we're at in the military. And I got like a pretty high score. And I was like, oh, and my mom was like crying, don't go, please don't go. I'm like, all right, well, just send me back to Montebello.
Little did you know you probably would have been like a general or something.
But that was a cool experience.
Did you live on campus?
No, I was just down the street. Well, in Hesperia, nothing's really down the street, but
That's their term.
Yeah.
It's like 30 miles away.
jeez. I remember like the times when I didn't have my jacket, bro, in the mornings for like our stand up and like our, right face, left face, whatever that is. I didn't have my jacket on because I didn't think it was cold, but everyone in the whole, class had a jacket on. So there was this PT teacher named Mr. Reeves. He's like, so Lise. I looked at him like, what's up? He's like, where's your jacket? I'm like, it's not even hot. So all I said was not even hot. Everyone was dismissed to their class, and I was outside the entire day doing lunges, sit-ups, push-ups.
For talking back?
For talking back. I hated it so much, dude. In uniform, thick dicky pants, those army military ones, military boots.
Is there anything good that you would say you got from that experience? I think it was just like
Getting a B in geometry.
so it showed you that you could do it. You're just freaking lazy, or you're uninspired, or
Like, hey, if I just tried.
if I cracked open the book and listened for 5 minutes. Nah, but I think it depends on your teacher because I never was any good at math. And when I went to a big reason why I didn't want to go to like college is because I knew I had to take math. And I was right because I had to do like the pre-math to get into the math at the lowest one.
Yeah.
But at the end, I had this algebra 2 and statistics teacher for both classes, and he was like hilarious. So everything he would say would stick, because he was so captivating when you would listen to his actual And then, like most of the times, he was so systematic and his way was foolproof. Anytime you would ask a question, it'd be like, he would just like make up a story or say something just to like get you to shut up, and then he would keep teaching, and he's all, and then he would bring it back later. This is why we do it.
Oh,
So it's just like, just listen. But yeah, I ended up passing with a B in both. So, wow. You see me, dog? Shoot. You think I use that now? No. I used to know how to do the probabilities. We were gonna take a trip to Las Vegas so we could count cards, but I didn't have enough flyer miles, so we didn't go.
Yeah, yeah, dude, never was fractions.
Those are why are those? It's like, why are those so hard, so dumb?
No idea.
Who does this? Can you believe that some people like to teach that too?
Yeah, like someone you know.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? I remember him taking. He didn't even have to take math in high school. I'm like, Ryan, why are you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, his name's Ryan, by the way. Like, why are you taking math? You didn't even have to. No, just for fun and bored.
Just for fun.
You do my homework.
Did you ever get him to do your homework?
Heck no, he would like show me how to do it.
He would.
I remember sitting at the table like, dude, please, can you just do this for me?
So what do you say? What do you say?
And he was like, I'll show you how to do it. I'm like, you know what, forget you, dude.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah.
Come over here, expecting you to help a boy out, and you're trying to give me the fish instead of teaching me the fish.
My version of "Can you help me?" is "Can you do it?"
I remember in high school I'd cheat in every math class. Like I just did not get it. I think about my freshman year. I took like pre-algebra, whatever, and I remember like we just had to turn in the sheet all the time. And I wonder what my teacher's reaction when she read what I would put out, because I was just guessing. And then we would do the group projects, and I was always the one who would write it down for some reason. So I just put like, complete wrong answers for like everything, and then I'd fail and be like, I thought you knew the answer. I was like, nah, I told you I did.
I remember those math tests, they'll give us like scratch paper. I'd be like, I'm gonna need like.
This is useless to me. What are you wasting paper for?
I'm just gonna guess anyways.
A, B, D, C, A. Show me work was the worst.
And you're giving me a Scantron? We'll see.
Listen, hey, I'll give it my best try, dog, but
I got a hair medal. I don't know how I passed high school, but hey, to God be the glory.
He had a plan for me.
I'll never forget, dude, coming out of English class. It was fifth period, and I'm walking out, and I see the homie Tucci right there, and he had senior math, and then he was with this hall pass talking to some chick, and I'm like, hey, fool, get back to class. And he was like, I don't have to. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna graduate. And he's like, yeah, fool, I'm passing D plus. I was like, oh, whatever, dog.
My man was reckless. Anything above an F, dog. He was like, we're golden, bro.
2.0 is passing, fool. Like, all right, dude.
Didn't that wear like PE, like teacher's aid? Like, my man was getting extra assistance. Yeah. Nah, I don't know what he had, but that was... I just remember one time going to his house. We had graduated because you guys are a year behind us, right? Yeah. And he's doing this big like cardboard cutout, and he's writing it all down in pencil on the cardboard. It was like a presentation. I was like, hey dog, you misspelled this. Like, this doesn't make sense. He's all my teacher cares about is seeing that I did something. It was like crayon. Dude, that guy.
I always hated those people, dude. And little you know, that dude was a homie. I'm like, gosh. Still the same dude.
That's why he's the best, though, because it's just him. What you see is what you get. I love it.
I'll never forget because he came in as a sophomore, and first day of school, I see him like, hey, Chuchi, like finally, like all of us, we all wanted to go to the same high school growing up,
Mhm.
It's three out of what? How many of us are there? Seven. And then he's just walking around like all of lunch. I'm like, hey, come over here, hang out with us. He's like, nothing, walking around, scoping it out. Okay. He's just walking around the entire campus. There's
Till this day,
so many stories.
everywhere we go, he recognizes one person. He's like, who don't you know? We'll be in like some weird cities too. It's like, what? West Covina, this one knows everybody. Yeah, fool, went to high school together. That fool's a homie. Like, he said that three other people.
I'll never forget when he had to move out of his apartment recently, and then I went to go help him, and like crackheads were coming up to him. They're like, "Where are you going?" And having a full-on conversation with them. I'm like, "That dude?" And then they'll leave and they'll turn to me and be like, "Oh, it's the homie." Like,
What else give you
who
the
just came
video?
out the street.
Literally came out the shadow. Oh yeah, fool, anyways. It's chill, dog. That's a good trait, though. I remember one time we went to the beach and I forgot what we were doing, but it was cold. It was around his birthday, so it was like rainy season back then when it used to rain. And we went to the beach, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, whatever. And then we went into this homeless guy, and we just had like a conversation with him. And then Tucci's right there. He's trying to like give him his jacket, and the dude's like, "Nah, I'm good. I have a couple other ones." And Tucci's like, "Nah, fool, here." So the guy he takes it. He's like, "All right, I guess." He was all freezing the rest of the night. All right, call it now. Who's winning the championship? Now that we had our conversation.
Lakers. Or no?
The Lakers. Who is your favorite player now?
Now?
Because we knew it wasn't Kobe growing up. Weren't you a Corey Maggette fan?
Corey Maggette, oh my god. Now, John Morant.
Ja.
Dude's like an Iverson, but Derrick Rose style. For the knees.
Derrick Rose was nice, huh? What was it about him? You know? Remember?
Dude was just like super athletic, like a point guard we haven't seen. Like he was out of it, jumping out the gym, dude.
He was quick too, huh? Like explosive.
Fast.
Just take off.
2 foot jumpers too for a guard.
What does that mean?
He was jumping off 2 feet.
Oh,
A lot of people jump off one, but they were just all power. But going back to our homies, dude, we can write a whole freaking Netflix series on our lives. There's so many stories we have going up.
it'd be super interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of I never really thought about it because I was like in it, but when you ask somebody, do you have a best friend? A lot of people say no, and then when I tell them like, oh yeah, I have like 5 or 6 homies that we've been around our whole life, you know.
You don't really see that anymore, you know?
People are like, what? That's normal.
Even the way we would talk to each other, like around other people, and they're like, "Did he get hurt?" No.
I remember my dad told me that one time. Hold this. Caught your pimple, dog.
That guy.
I remember we were going somewhere, and then we're like, "I hate you," and then he was like, "Dang, I thought you guys meant it." Like, nah, that's the homie. All right, man. Thanks for coming through
Again.
again. Hopefully, this one airs.